my beautiful, wonderful friends, and welcome to your Spirit Guide reading. This is a current message from Spirit that Spirit wants you to know, whether it be your guides or you're cross-watching for someone else. But this reading is going to be timeless as well. So no matter when you come in to see this, it was meant for you. And on top of that, I just want to say before we jump in that if you would like to purchase any of the decks I use in my readings, please do so at the links down below. They are affiliated links, but they don't cost you anything extra to use them, and it just shows you like which decks I use. I know a lot of people always question that, so that information is down below. And yeah, let's get started. So if you're familiar with pick a cards, go ahead and head to the timestamps listed down below. If you're on a PC, you can use the description box. If you're on mobile, be sure to head straight to the comment section. It will be the top pinned comment, and you're just going to want to click on one of those. If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, let me go through this for you. So this is going to be pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So to choose a pile of cards, you can go with one of those numbers. You can meditate on them, pause the video. You can look at the timestamps and see if any of the numbers are like your lucky numbers. That sometimes, like I have totally had readings be like 2222 or what have you. And so make sure you look at those. If 1, 2, 3, or 4 is your lucky number, or just ask your guides, which one of these cards is the one, like which pile do you want me to choose? And I've also had a lot of success with saying 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, and just seeing like repeating that singular number until you feel like one of them calls to you more than another. So that is how you choose. And then once you have chosen, you're just going to want to head to the timestamps down below. There'll be 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it will give you that reading. Some people also like to listen to the full video and then choose which one they felt like worked with them. That's personally not a method that I use when I'm looking at people's pick a card videos, but for some people that works for them. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so if you chose pile number 1, where you guys currently are, I feel like a lot of you guys are maybe feeling a lot of really intense emotion. You guys are feeling maybe really in your feelings and in your head right now. And I say that because we have the Ace of Cups here, but it's reversed. And then we have the Queen of Wands. I'm feeling like some of you guys are wanting to express your creativeness, wanting to like be your most authentic, beautiful, vibrant selves, but you're feeling a lot of emotional turmoil over it. Like maybe who you actually are is going to disappoint someone in your life. This could be like really, really, really major, or this could be just like maybe even you're younger and you are trying to decide between schools, but your parents really want you to go to a school that they went to, and you want to go to a school that feels more in line with like the creative arts or something. I know that's such like a TV movie synopsis that I just gave you, but that's what I mean. It's like part of you is feeling very shut down, and you actually don't feel like you're able to shine in your most authentic way, because the Queen of Wands is truly someone who is very powerful, is very, very creative. She gets what she wants, and she is honestly, she brings like big Leo energy to the table as well. Some of you guys might be Leos, and she is someone that just has like a vibrant, charismatic energy about her. And I feel like this Mercury retrograde that we've been going through maybe has started to take a toll on you, or you feel like a part of you've just had to close off. Either that, or you maybe are also going through a process right now where you have removed people from your life, be it a breakup of some sort, or you're just removing friendships or cutting ties with family. And that maybe has left you feeling a little upset. Now, the way forward, we have the Ace of Wands here, and we also have a reverse Knight of Swords. And I feel like with these two cards, you guys, this is very telling of you really don't have to do anything. I feel like with a reverse Knight of Swords, the more you try to push on this, the more you try to act on it, the more you try to communicate your point of view with other people, the more you try to do stuff, like the worse it's going to be if you try to explain yourself to other people. And actually what you need to do is just be yourself. I know that sounds so cliche, but maybe that was the answer some of you guys needed. And I feel like a lot of you guys just need to be yourselves with this Ace of Wands. You need to learn how to light your own match and just stand in your most authentic power. Like, light your own candle and shine. Candles, like, how can I give you a good euphemism? Euphemism, is that the word I want? I don't know. Mercury retrograde got me crazy, you guys. But I feel like with this Ace of Wands, it's like when a candle is lit, it's not sitting around looking at the other candles and like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't be lit. Maybe I should snuff myself out. I mean, if you're in candle magic, like sometimes it do be like that, but it's not like maybe I should dim down so these other candles can be brighter, or maybe I should snuff myself out so this person can have my flame. No, each candle serves its own purpose and lights a specific room and lights a specific area of the home, or, you know, whatever, maybe brings comfort and coziness to your room, whatever it needs to do. And that's what you need to do, is just be yourself. Be yourself and stop worrying so hard about what other people think of you. And I know it's so easier said than done. But some advice from spirits, we have, don't let pride get in your way with the full moon in Leo. I find that so funny because the Queen of Wands is Leo energy as well. So I said some of you guys might be Leos or have Leo energy in your charts. And what do you need to release with the waning moon? So don't let pride get in your way. This is like, Spirit is telling me that, again, stop trying to argue your point of view with other people because it's not going to get you anywhere. They're just going to be mad. They're not going to see it your way. And the best thing you can do is just be yourself and accept that. Gosh, if I could recommend a book to you guys that are going through this, especially if it's like in a situation that you can't change, like if this is with parental figures or you're living in a situation where you have to be surrounded by these people, I would highly encourage you guys to read The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's such a fantastic book. I will put a link down below for it. It's such a fantastic book, and the premise of the book is very easy read, very short, but the premise of the book is that like everybody is living in their own version of their own reality, and they see the world the way that they do for a reason. And sadly, a lot of people are walking around not understanding that everybody's doing that. You're not, because you're here listening to me and now you know. And so like even your idea of your reality, it's been shaped based off of either things that your parents have taught you, things that you've experienced, or things that you've learned or read. And so like that's your reality and that's how you see the world. And sadly, a lot of times when we're in positions where people that don't agree with us or we can't come to an agreement or like an understanding, we see pride show up. And it becomes this thing of like, well, you're stupid, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm big and you're small. Shout out to Matilda. I'm pretty sure that's a Matilda quote. Guys, have had like 1 cup of coffee today and I feel like I've had 8. But pride will come out and just be like, just try not to let pride get in your way and have this attitude of I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. Because the way that they see it, they think that they're helping you is the sad part. They think that they're helping you even though they're not in your head. They haven't walked a mile in your shoes and they don't know who you are. Nobody will ever know who you are. Let that sink in for a second. Not that nobody will ever know you, but even myself, the people that I have relationships with, my own spouse, nobody will ever know me the way that I know me. And so you have to just stop explaining yourself to people who don't want to listen, but just don't even give them the time of day. Don't give them your energy, your precious, creative, amazing, vibrant energy. Don't even waste your time and just go about doing what you got to do. I mean, within reason, obviously, don't get yourself into trouble. If you are younger and still maybe under like parental rule, don't get yourself into trouble. But, you know, just try your best to understand that they see things the way that they see it. You see things the way that you see it. And that's okay. Like it can be, you guys can agree to disagree. And the other thing is we have, what do you need to release with the waning moon? What that says to me is that, and this comes up a lot in my readings. I think I actually maybe I just have like a really special message that I need to share with people, but I feel like I attract a lot of people that struggle with feeling unworthy. And I feel that, I mean, it's a very common, like a lot of us, even if we don't realize it consciously, struggle with a feeling of unworthiness somewhere in our lives. and think that we can't have, do, be, or whatever. We all have like this innate fear, at least most of us, I would say like 90% of the population minimum struggles with something that they're afraid of. And I think that there's like this part of you that thinks that you're not good enough. And because you don't have this support right now on it, you're starting to feel like maybe you really can't do it. And you're being asked to release those feelings, release this idea that you can't, because actually you can. And lastly, I have to read this one from a book. We did this during the last spirit guide reading, and I think a lot of people really liked it. But this is actually a spirit animal card, and I'm just going to read to you from this book. This is the Llewellyn's Little Book of Spirit Animals. Beautiful, amazing book. If you ever like keep seeing a cat or keep seeing a certain animal about, even if it's like in symbolism, like you keep seeing like stickers or pictures or whatever, this is a really good book to look into and see what the meaning behind those are, which I thought was real cool. So we are looking for a squirrel. Okay, so when squirrel appears, it means to look at how you're interacting with people. Oh, see, this is so right. I did not look at these cards beforehand. A squirrel male marks the members of its group with its scent. If any other try to become a part of the group, he will violently chase them away. Sometimes you will experience personal and spiritual growth by meeting and interacting with new people. Squirrel assists when you want to bond with others in more meaningful ways. If your relationships are lacking feeling or closeness, Squirrel can show you how to deepen your interaction to develop the intimacy you desire. Squirrel can teach you how to trust others and, most importantly, how to trust yourself. Squirrel sleeps all day and is up all night. It does this to protect itself from predators. You may also do your best work at night, so consider nighttime careers. The squirrel is a... this one is like a squirrel / sugar glider, so it gives a little bit of information on the page about sugar gliders too, but I believe that the message still applies. So the sugar glider is a marsupial gliding possum that keeps its young in its pouch. This means you have all you need within you. When you take note of the little things and apply them to your ideas, you will come up with the phenomenal inventions or new ways of doing things. You feel energized by the creative process. So I feel like that really covered a lot of what we just said. And I feel like you're struggling to find that human connection of people that support you, but you will find those people. And have faith that you'll find those people, and just stop wasting your precious energy trying to make people that don't understand and don't want to be a part of what you're doing. Like, stop trying to force them, because it's just bringing you more sadness and more heartbreak. So I hope this reading helped you. I hope that you will continue to ask your guides for support if you've never done so. It's such an important thing. The number one thing that we don't do is ask our guides for more. We don't ask them for enough. So I hope this message finds you well. Thank you so very much for listening. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at kozykale, and I will see you in a future video. Bye. All right. If you chose pile number 2, we have the Hierophant reversed. I don't know why it's coming out so dark. Sorry, guys. I chose a really dark deck today. We have the Six of Wands reversed. Actually, let's talk about those two cards first. So this is where you are right now. I feel like a lot of you guys are uncovering a spiritual aspect of yourselves, and you're actually maybe upturning a lot of things that you once thought were true and you held near and dear to you spiritually. With a Hierophant reversed, a lot of this normally has to do with like spirituality and teaching and tradition. And so you guys are currently actually breaking that part of you. Some of you guys might actually be going through a true spiritual awakening right now. And it's very confusing. I feel like it's honestly kind of upturned your life in a lot of ways. And you guys are just starting to kind of question a lot of the things that you've been taught and told. And I think that this is very true for a lot of people collectively on the planet right now. I think this is happening, but to you guys specifically, you may even find that you yourself are like a light worker, a starseed. I would definitely, if anything I just said like sparked your curiosity, definitely do some research on those things. But I feel like you guys are going through possibly a spiritual awakening, or you're just shifting your beliefs and breaking the status quo. And this can cause a lot of upset because normally the Six of Wands is a very victorious thing, but because we have it in a reversed position here, I feel like this is you feeling like, oh shit, why did nobody tell me that this is not how this is supposed to be? Why did nobody tell me that this thing is actually incorrect? And I've been living my whole life like this. And so I feel like there's maybe even some of you that were going in like a really major direction in your life, and you have just realized that like something that is like going on, whether it be in your job or career path, is like extremely unethical. And you're like, holy shit, I can't continue this process. For some of you guys, this is a really big deal. For others of you, I feel like this could even just be like family and friendship circles. You're starting to kind of disassociate yourself because of this. And it's kind of scary because you feel like no one really understands what you're going through. The way forward, we have judgment, or excuse me, justice. And we have a reverse Page of Wands. So with judgment or justice coming out, sorry, those two cards, I get them mixed up all the time, but they do not mean the same thing. With justice coming out, I feel like number one, things are going to rebalance. I mean, this card itself has like a balancing scale on it. Things will rebalance. That is just like a given. So expect that. Expect things to rebalance eventually. It may take some time on your end. And that's something that maybe you should be preparing for a little bit, is for it to take a little bit more time. But things will rebalance. You will start to understand, things will come full circle, and it's just going to take time to rebalance, because that's what's kind of going on right now. As things have gotten kind of shaken up, they're dialing back so they can be rebalanced for you. This card also specifically speaks to Libra energy. So you or someone involved in this situation could be a Libra. And with a Page of Wands reversed, I feel like some of you guys feel very trapped about this situation because you feel like no one understands you and no one is like on the same page. And normally a Page of Wands is somebody who like looks to the future. I think, in my opinion, it can be like a very naive card. And so I feel like with a reversal here, it's actually not quite as naive. You're actually stepping up to something, and you're moving outside of naivety. You're moving out and understanding something much bigger than you. And I feel that it's honestly going to impact your future for the better. Right now, it feels kind of difficult and unsettling, but it's something that is going to impact your future for the better. And Spirit says that you need to not worry because prosperity lies ahead. And whatever fear you have around this situation currently, nothing is going to come of the situation. Like for some of you that maybe it was an ethics-based thing and you're feeling like, oh shit, my company's doing this thing and it's bad and somebody's going to find out. Like if it's on that scale of things, I want you guys to rest easy in knowing that you're going to be okay. Nothing is going to come of the situation and you can kind of back away from it. And also, if this is something you've worked really, really, really hard on, and like maybe your entire career is focused on keeping this lie to you alive, rest assured that prosperity does lie ahead for you. You don't need to stay in this position that kind of makes you not feel very in alignment with yourself. You can actually change the path that you're on, and you will be actually rewarded financially for it. Because Taurus, we have prosperity lies ahead with new moon Taurus. Taurus is the sign of stability. That is like their number one thing. They are great, stable. They are good at finding and making and creating stability and structure. With the void course of moon though, there's really nothing else to be said about that card. Just like your worst fears, you can kind of rest easy knowing that it's not going to happen. And that might be the only message you guys that picked pile number 2 needed, is that like, you just need to know that whatever you're going through right now, period, the worst that you think is going to happen isn't going to happen. And lastly, we have a message from spirits. I did this with the last spirit guide reading and a lot of you guys liked it, but I'm going to be reading from the Llewellyn's Little Book of Spirit Animals, mostly because I don't have all these cards memorized. And you guys got the monkey. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up really quick. So monkey, monkey appears. So basically with this card, let me tell you a little bit about it, is like if you see this somewhere or you need to connect with an energy during the next little while of your life, maybe forever, this could be your animal totem. But with this card, basically just kind of keep your eyes out for it. If you see like a monkey stamp, a monkey sticker, a monkey on a billboard, an actual monkey, it could be just very symbolic for you to pay attention. And that's like a way that spirit will connect messages to you. So with monkey, we have monkey appears when you need to figure something out. Monkey enjoys a good puzzle, and its insightfulness can help you get to the root of the problem. It means to take action instead of sitting back and waiting for something to happen. Monkey urges you to play and have fun. If you enjoy tricking or pulling practical jokes on people, monkey warns you to be careful in your actions. Not everyone enjoys being the brunt of such jokes and may react in anger or a manner you're not expecting. What you mean in good fun, they may not take as such. Monkey encourages you to be resourceful. You can find a solution if you try instead of waiting to be told how to do something. You're very flexible and nimble. You can swiftly move from one situation to another without an interruption in your focus. Grooming is an integral part of the monkey's daily life. This means you need to pay more attention to your appearance. Monkey assists when you need nurturing or the companionship of family and friends. Monkey encourages you to play more and not take life so seriously. Monkey warns against swinging from place to place without focus. So I feel like for those of you that are going through like a spiritual awakening, I'm going to get really deep here for a second, and some of you guys are not going to resonate with this at all, but some of you will. If you feel like you have literally just looked into the matrix and you do not like what you've seen, I would say the number one thing that I have found through going through my own spiritual awakening is that you really have to find the fun in life again, because I feel like spiritual awakenings make life very, very, very serious. And it can be very easy to take that part of your life and make it very serious and to just like, nothing is fun, nothing makes sense, what is the point anymore? That can happen very, very easily in instances like this. And I felt very pressured to say this after reading what that had to say. But just remember that like, if you can treat life like a game, the more game-like it will become, the more fun it will become. So it might be hard and really serious right now, but remember that like, life is a game. Have fun. Make it fun. Keep it lighthearted. Things will rebalance. You will come out of this. And I hope this message rests easy with you guys. Thank you so very much for listening in. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at kozykale, and I will see you guys in a future video. Bye. All right, my beautiful pile number 3s. If you chose pile number 3, right off the bat, we have the Fool reversed, and we also have the Hanged Man reversed. So I find this really interesting because to me, the Fool and the Hanged Man, both of these cards in their upright position are very telling of you going on a new journey. And also like looking at life with fresh eyes and a new perspective. And I feel like you guys are actually very resistant to that right now. This is where you are now. With a Fool reversed, you guys are actually afraid to take the first steps of a new direction. So I think for a lot of you guys that chose pile number 3, you guys are in creative endeavors. This could be a Twitch channel, a YouTube channel, a podcast, a blog, a photography business, something. I'm feeling very called by spirit that you guys are thinking about a creative project and starting like a creative business, but you guys are not willing to take the first step, even though you have really fantastic ideas. You guys have amazing ideas. And with the Hanged Man sitting here reversed as well, I feel like normally when the Hanged Man is reversed, it's like you need to kind of stop and gain some perspective. But I actually feel like in this reversed position here, I think you already have perspective. You need to, this is like almost like a caution of don't sit and wait. Don't slow yourself down. Don't like either that or even more so, you're resisting gaining a new perspective. Also, can we talk about how this card is giving me, is it like the Cask of Amontillado or I don't know. I think it's an Edgar Allan Poe story, but that's seriously like that. I wonder if that was what this card was based off of. But yeah, I feel like overall this card very much is about resistance. Like you are resisting starting. And I think you are still stopped. I take it back. You are still stopped. You are still stalled, but you're resisting going forward. Both of these cards talk about resistance. And so I think right now, you guys really need to ask yourselves what you're resisting. Is it like, the setup sounds so boring. Like, I don't want to do all this stuff. It's too much work. Because if you're not excited about the process completely, like there's always going to be things that you don't want to do, but if you're not so excited about the process and it doesn't set your soul on such fire that you want to start it today, I feel like that should speak volumes. The way forward, we have a reversed Queen of Swords, and we have reversed Judgment. So oh man, that Queen of Swords reversed is kind of mean. So I'm going to be really blunt with you guys because the cards are being very blunt with us. This reversed queen is saying, stop talking about your ideas and actually take action. Stop talking the talk and not walking the walk. Shut your mouth and go forward and do the damn thing. Queen of Swords is kind of an aggressive energy, especially in the reversal. And also, I feel like with Judgment coming out, you guys are afraid to be seen. You care what other people think of you and you're scared. And that, I feel like, especially if you guys are looking into doing like Twitch and YouTube, granted, of course, I'm going to gravitate to those because that's something that I have done and do still, obviously. But if you guys are honestly really scared of what others think of you and your creative endeavors, this is a time to get very clear on why. What is like, walk yourself through worst case scenario. What is the worst case scenario if you put yourself out there and did something? Worst case scenario, somebody comes in and drops a comment that's mean and salty. And you then get to say, you know what though? I'm the woman or man out here in the arena, or person out here in the arena doing the damn thing. You have no right if you're just out there in the sidelines throwing tomatoes. You're not out here doing the thing. And also, something I feel really pressured to say here is that you how do I put this? You are someone that you can do this. The Fool wouldn't pop up if you couldn't. You're someone that definitely can do this. You are capable. You just need to move out of this state of resistance. That's the number one. And getting really clear on what that resistance is and coming up with a way to kind of combat that resistance, no matter what it is. And I feel like with this Judgment card is really throwing me off, you guys, because I feel like this is a lot about you guys being afraid of what other people think, which I do feel like that's like a normal fear. I also want to reiterate that that is so normal. In starting a project that puts you in the public eye in any kind of way, especially with the way social media is these days, that is so normal to be afraid. If you've never done anything like that, it's so normal. So normalize it, you know? And don't take what people say to heart, because sometimes people, and I said this to, I think, our pile number one, nobody will know you. Nobody knows your heart. Nobody's walked a mile in your shoes. Nobody ever will. Even my own husband, that I am closer to than anyone else on the planet, does not know me. Not the way that I know me. Nobody will ever know you truly more than you know yourself. And so letting somebody's shitty comments or, you know, whatever it is. And this could even apply to just like a dream, period. You guys wanting to dream big and do something, and you're afraid of what other people will think of your dreams. Just go after them anyways. It's not worth it to not try. So the message from Spirit, we have your dreams need a practical plan with full moon Taurus. And we have the end of a tough cycle approaches with full moon Capricorn. So these are 2 earth sign full moons, which I find really cool. And with your dreams need a practical plan. This is kind of what I was saying up here. And it's funny because I almost said it and I was like, no, maybe not. Spirit is done teaching me over here. But you guys need to come up with a plan to remove the resistance. Maybe you guys are not planners normally, but I would really encourage you guys to pull out a journal and ask yourself why you're feeling this way. And I think I said already that, like, really walk yourself through what is the worst that could happen. And then give yourself the advice that, like, almost, it's like a really good technique is to treat this situation like it's not happening to you and like it's happening to a friend. Work through the worst case, or walk through the worst case scenario. And then what kind of advice would you give your friend if they were going through that? Now take that advice for yourself. I feel like when we take, all of us collectively, every human on the planet has such a hard time taking a page from their own book, but we are more than open and willing to support and give advice to others that we care about. So care that much about yourself. And the end of a tough cycle approaches. I think this, it's funny, pile number 2 had a very similar instance. I feel like this message is a standalone. The end of a tough cycle approaches. If you picked pile number 3, some of you guys just need to know that if you've been going through it, it's almost over. We have Mercury retrograde ending if you're watching this during the time that it went up. Mercury retrograde ends in just a few days. It ends, I think, on the 20th of November of 2019. And so that will be ending. And then we actually have a lot of planets going direct coming up this year. I want to say by like early next year, so many of our planets, if not all of them, will be direct, which is really cool. We've done a lot of deep transformation this year, and Spirit just wants you to know that that's almost over. And for those of you that have just been struggling to find time for this creative project or work through your own mental blocks or anything that has kind of set you off course, that's going to be over very soon and you will be able to actually get started. Lastly, we have the Buffalo card. Now, this card, I'm actually going to be reading through this book, the Llewellyn's Little Book of Spirit Animals. And basically, this is just a message from Spirit that if you see a buffalo anywhere, or if you see it like on a billboard, a sticker, an actual buffalo, anything of that nature, just really pay attention to it. Pay attention to it and see what you were just thinking. What were you just saying? Spirit wants you to pay attention. So with the buffalo, we have, when buffalo appears, it means that the need to re-examine your respect for nature. Look for new ways to understand the nature laws of the universe and make use of the research available to you to expand your spiritual growth. Buffalo means to appreciate what you've been given. You may not always get what you want, but you'll always get what you need. When a white buffalo appears to you, expect an exceptional transformation that will completely change your life for the better. While buffalo is considered the most sacred living animal, can bring forth miracles. It represents peacefulness and a sense of calmness that connects to your spirituality. Buffalo is a reminder to be respectful to yourself and your elders, family, and friends. Buffalo warns against losing your temper. Buffalo is a sign that good things will come to you, but sometimes you have to wait for them. If you try to force an issue, it will probably have the opposite effect than what you're trying to achieve. When you're feeling lost, Buffalo can help you find your way through increasing your strength, wisdom, and connection to the sacred. So that message I feel like was really cool because we're talking about spirit guides, and Spirit straight up was like, hey, to connect with me, channel the energy of the buffalo. So you can take this on as an animal totem as well. I feel like on your guys' path, this might be a really important thing for you to connect with that energy. Go outside. As I said, if you wanted like a really powerful exercise, walking yourself through the worst case scenario, maybe go outside in nature and do that, because this card specifically talked about nature as well and connecting. So I hope this helped you guys on your path. Please, 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 if you are thinking about a creative endeavor, know that the world needs that special gift that only you know how to deliver. So please do it. The world needs more creatives. I hope this message rested easy with you guys. And please don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at kozykale, and I will see you in a future video. Bye. All right, if you guys picked pile number 4, we have the moon. Oh, sorry, these cards are kind of dark right now. It's getting late here. I do have my ring light on, but honestly, the cards themselves are just dark. We have the moon. We have the reverse page of wands. And this is where you currently are. So, oh man. Are any of you guys Sagittarius risings like me? I asked that because if you're watching this as soon as it goes live, this to me is like such a 12th house transit right here. I'm going through my 12th house transit right now until we start Sagittarius season, which will be my first house. And maybe that's yours too if you are a Sag rising. But the moon, basically you guys right now, I feel like are really taking time out for yourselves. I feel like the readings in this entire readings that I've like channeled in, a lot of you guys have been in your feels, and I feel like you pile number 4 specifically, you guys have been really in your feelings and really just disconnected from the world, from your passions, and you've really just been trying to uncover the hidden aspects, not necessarily in a spiritual way. I mean, it could be, but I don't look at the moon card as being like super, super, super spiritual. I look at it more as like connecting with yourself, connecting with your inner child, connecting with your divine feminine, and really looking through to the hidden aspects of you. And as we've been going through Scorpio season, this also is no surprise to me. Because Scorpio will show the hidden aspects as well. So I feel like some of you guys have just been very disconnected and you've just been kind of working through yourselves. And we also have this reversed page of wands. And the page of wands, I feel like normally or is that the page of wands? I'm sorry. Let me look at this closer. No, I was like, that can't be the page of wands. This is the page of swords. See, and I was struggling to get a message with it too. I was like, I was like, why do I feel like that's not right? So page of swords, excuse me. With the page of swords coming out reversed though, this really talks a lot about you kind of slowing down as well, not really taking action. And it's way more in line with self-expression. So I feel like these actually really do go hand in hand together, is you're learning how to express yourself more authentically and just like better by sifting through your own, like some of you guys I feel like have really been doing the inner work this season, or anytime that you're coming into this reading, you guys have really been doing the inner work and you're starting to learn how to express yourself in a way that is like fulfilling and satisfying to you. So good job, pat yourselves on the back. So that's like where you are now. And then I was pulling the second set of cards here as the way forward, but I feel like you guys are just doing a great job at working with yourselves. So we have the Hermit and the Chariot. Wow, this is like a super heavy major arcana read. All 3 of these cards are from the major arcana. So we also have the Hermit card, and this is like the card of isolation. So you guys, the way forward actually is to still continue. I feel like these cards also kind of mirror each other in a way. It's funny too, because I said not really on a spiritual level, because that to me is more the Hermit, but then we got the Hermit. So when we see a Hermit reversed though, to me, this is like a card of isolation. And I think that for you guys, it's actually going to be better if you slow down, cancel any social engagements that you might have if you're able to, maybe take some time off of work if you can, or just take some more time out for you, because you are on a path of very serious self-discovery. And some of you guys might even be going into spiritual entrepreneurship, because we also have the Chariot right next to it. Some of you guys might be looking into being tarot card readers, being light workers, being mediums, or you are a medium, but you're looking to practice it more with others. I feel like this is like making a career out of spirituality and out of understanding your spirituality and understanding yourself. This could also be in the field of self-help. Why do I feel like if I were a pile in this reading, I would be number 4. This one is definitely my pile. So all y'all that chose pile number 4, what up, squad? But this, to me, the way forward is like, this is going to, whatever you've been sifting through, you're going to be unlocking your next destination, like your next big journey in life, because life works in cycles. And like constantly, even like the fertility too, but like even like menstrual cycles, like everything in life is a cycle on so many different levels. It's out in nature, so without, so within. And your next cycle of life, everything that you've been learning and going through currently is actually leading you to this path of like a self-discovery, but also you pressing forward with everything that you need. Like you're gearing up for the next big move in your life. And this could be a literal move, or it could just be like a new career path that you're looking into. Maybe even, I wouldn't say relationship. I'm not really getting any relationship vibes from this. But I feel like some of you guys are really gearing up. And the thing to know about the Chariot is that like, you have everything that you need in order to go forward on this next big adventure in life that you're gearing up for. You have everything you need. You just need to pack up the wagon and go. And so I think that's actually what you've been preparing for. Maybe you've been going through a really quiet, restful time, but that's about to change. You're about to kind of like fire off, especially if you are in a 12th house transit. And even if you're seeing this during your 12th house transit at another time, that still applies. So it's time to take action. This is the message from Spirit. And don't let your past hold you back. So this is exactly what I just said. This is exactly what I just said. You guys have kind of been in your feelings, taking a break, resting, trying to understand yourself at a deeper level, getting in touch with your own spirituality, and just understanding yourself from a new perspective. And that is about to change. You're about to be moving very quickly because the Chariot is a fast moving card, but then we have New Moon and Aries. It's time to take action. So with everything that you've been learning, it's time to make a move on that. And don't let your past hold you back with the South Node. Everything that you've just gone through, for some of you guys, I feel like this potentially was like a dark night of the soul situation, which I feel like collectively a lot of people just went through those too. Just from like the collective unconscious, but I feel like a lot of people just experienced some dark night of the soul shit. So when we talk about the North and South Node, and if you guys want to get your natal charts read by me, I'm thinking about offering just a North and South Node like thing. I don't know, because it's something that people come to me for a lot, but then I read their whole chart, and this is something that I really like to focus on specifically. So if you want that done, though, I do offer private readings of charts, and I may try to do something a little different in the future with those because I'm obsessed with North-South Node stuff. But basically, with the South Node card, not letting your past hold you back, it's like all of this information that you've just learned is about your true north. It's about where you're going. It's information that you needed, even if it was just like downloads from the universe. It was information that you needed to go forward. And so the only thing that's going to hold you back from going is like you falling back into old patterns and into old ways of thinking. And this is a card that is saying, don't do that. And if you actually pull up your birth chart and look at your North Node, you can get your South Node information as well. So like, don't fall into the patterns of the South Node. Let me give you an example because that might help too if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. For example, my North Node is in Capricorn in the 2nd house, which makes my South Node in Cancer in the 8th house. And so for me specifically, having a Cancer 8th house South Node, I am used to other people taking care of me. I'm also used to being the nurturer. Financially, I'm used to always being taken care of. These are like Cliff Notes versions. I could go so much deeper. And my North Node is about becoming very like self-reliant financially, as well as being very responsible, and kind of just like being my own, how do I even put that? Like Capricorn energy to me is like a traditionalist. They also tend to be a little bit more stern. They're not as like soft as Cancer. And because I came into this life with Cancer and I need to be moved into Capricorn, you don't go running screaming from your South Node. I'm not going to go running screaming from Cancer and try to just become like this hard ass. No, I'm going to find a way to bridge the gap between them to move into my North Node. So it's me understanding and learning how to be loving and nurturing, but also learning how to like be my own boss and take things like seriously and take care of myself. Does that make sense? That's just like one way you can look at it. There's so much information on the North and South Node. But you can't be letting that hold you back. For me, in my case here, I'm not going to let my like emotions and stuff hold me back. I need to just take the action and go forward and not shut my emotions down, but not get so stuck there, because that is something I definitely tend to do. And as a final message from Spirit, we have the hummingbird card. Now for this, basically you can take this like an animal totem. If you see it anywhere, you see a hummingbird specifically on a sticker, on a billboard, in a drawing, in a video. This is just something that when you see it, pay close attention, because Spirit is trying to communicate with you. I'm going to be reading the definition from this Llewellyn's Little Book of Spirit Animals. And we are just gonna pull up that hummingbird, and it says, hummingbird symbolizes lightness of being. It means enjoying life to the fullest, drinking in its sweet nectar. It is holding those close to you closer, loving without abandon, and being present in your life. Hummingbird is considered one of the most aggressive bird species, regardless of its tiny size. When hummingbird shows up, it means to stand up for yourself and don't let others intimidate you. Hummingbird gives you speed, and you often do things quickly. Sometimes you have to slow down like hummingbird too. To you, this means that while you move quickly, you can't wear yourself down. Make sure you take time to recharge before taking flight again. Hummingbird can fly both forward and backward, and it can hover, which means you can go with the flow, adapt quickly to change, and take time to stop, look, and listen. Hummingbird encourages you to embrace the playfulness inside of you. It's essential to your well-being to find a balance between being 100 miles an hour and sleeping. Sometimes you just need to slow down without actually stopping. Wow. I can honestly tell you guys, this was 100% my pile. There's always one. There's always one pile in every reading that is mine. This one was definitely my pile. But basically, you guys are about to embark on a really fast-paced part of your life after coming from this really slow-paced part. You guys, I feel like the spotlight is going to be on you. So if there is an endeavor that you've been working on, expect yourself to like blow up for the next, like, I don't know how many weeks from now, but it would depend on when you saw this video as well, like based on like your chart and the transits. And there's a lot of information that goes into it, but expect whatever you're doing to kind of blow up, and don't be scared to keep going forward, but also don't focus so hard on the momentum. Don't focus so hard on, I have to keep building, or I'm going to lose this thing. Like, no, focus on the fact that the universe is an abundant, vast, beautiful thing. And if you are open to it, you are able to actually speed up and slow down with grace and still keep that momentum about you. And if you don't take care of yourself in the process, the universe will make you slow down. Trust that. Trust that I know that from experience as well. The universe will make you slow down. So yes, you're going to be taking action. Yes, you're going to be moving really quickly, but please make sure you take time to take care of yourself. Pay attention if you see hummingbird pop up. That might be a sign that you need to either speed up or slow down with what you're doing. Anyways, I hope this reading found you well. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I love you guys so, so, so much. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at kozykale, and I will see you guys in a future video. Bye.